morning, everybody. Good morning. It's me, Foxy. It's been a minute. I've been busy, so I haven't really been going live. I'm actually heading over to my real estate office, get some stuff done. So I just wanted to check in, see how everybody was doing. I see a couple people live, so this is not going to be a long video. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base on some of the recent events that's been happening, y'all. I don't know if you guys been really paying attention to the news, but it's been a lot of things going on lately. So a few weeks ago, what was that, last week? It might have been last week or a week before. But anyhow, did y'all hear about the young man, his 2-year-old daughter, his best friend, that got unalived by a guy that he actually, the story that I'm hearing is he actually got in a fight at one of the games. I guess it was like a high school game or something. And these were young people. They were like in their early 20s. Got into a fight at the game with this young man, and they said he messed him up. They said the guy beat his butt real bad. He got his butt handed to him. And hey, we living in a time where we got these youngins that don't know how to fight back. Instead of fighting back and show that they're not cowards, they would actually rather pull out guns to show dominance. So this is what happened. He got beat up at the game, and instead of just fighting back, what he did was he took him and another guy that actually arrested another guy the next day. But they did a home invasion, y'all. Home invasion, and the guy, his best friend who was in the house, he had his 2-year-old baby with him. He did a home invasion, break in the guy's house, shot the guy 2-year-old baby in the head, shot the baby in the head, and then turned around, shoot the guy, and shoot the best friend. All because he lost a fight. Now, these kids, they are some cowards. How in the world, and then check this out, the guy that did the shooting, he has a 2-year-old baby himself. This happened in Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. This happened in Louisiana. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but y'all look it up and read about it, y'all. It is terrible. What's up, Super? Super, did you hear about that shooting in Louisiana? In Louisiana, where the guy shot the 2-year-old baby, shot the dad, and then shot the best friend, all because he lost the fight. He lost the fight at the game that night, and his retaliation was to do a home invasion in the guy's house, shoot the baby. I'm not sure how accurate this information is, but from what I read, he shot the 2-year-old first in the head, just so the guy can see his baby, traumatize him by watching his baby get shot, turn around and had him beg for his life and shot him, and then shot the best friend. And someone, eventually came in the house and found all of them in there. Man, let me tell you, that broke my heart, because I got grands, and even if you got nieces or nephews or anyone, and you think about how that 2-year-old suffered, and how that dad suffered to actually watch this. But he was holding the child in his hand, begging him. The mom is on Facebook. The mom, think about the mom, the boy mom, her name is Bree Simmons, if I'm not mistaken, Bree Simmons. I'm going to come back with a little bit more accurate information, y'all. Right now, I'm just kind of just shooting the breeze a little bit. But yeah, I believe the mom name is Bree Simmons. If y'all look that name up on Facebook, y'all can kind of follow her talking about it, because she is, y'all, she's heartbroken. you know, as you can imagine, that's her child and her granddaughter. And the guy that got shot with him, the guy's best friend, actually is his best friend from high school. Like, they were friends since they were little. And y'all, if y'all look up that story. It happened in Louisiana. He shot the best friend, the 2-year-old child, and the dad, all because he got beat up at the game in a fight the night before. The guy beat him up. These guys now, they are so cowardly. I don't understand it. Nobody don't want to show dominance by fighting or doing things in competition. It has to be an unalive situation. Why? Why do we live like this? You know, and you don't want to blame parents, because I'm quite sure nobody raises their parents. Nobody raises their children to be that way. But as parents, it kind of makes you question, like, what as a parent can I do different, or can anyone do different to make sure these things don't happen? Yeah. Oh, young people. Oh, hey, what's up, sis? Keep the chain. What's up? Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on here long. I'm on my way going to the office. I'm doing my real estate today, y'all. So I'm on my way going there. But I just wanted to check in, because there's so much stuff that's been going on the news. I don't know if y'all been paying attention. And then UPS. Did y'all hear about the UPS truck that exploded in Kentucky? That was wild. No, it was the airplane. The airplane that was carrying cargo for UPS. It crashed and exploded. That was wild. I don't know. Sometimes it makes me wonder if this shutdown got to do with a lot of these things going on. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theory person, but sometimes I wonder. There's a lot of weird stuff that goes on to kind of take the eyes of what's really going on. Yeah, you saw that, KTC? Did you see the explosion? That was crazy. And then even after it exploded, I saw a video that was circulating. The explosion, it just kept happening over and over and over again. I'm not sure what it means. It looks like probably was a bomb or something in there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but that was crazy. I'm quite sure whoever was even in that area, the way that fire exploded, I'm quite sure there weren't any survivors. I'm sure there weren't any survivors. But keep the chain. Did you hear about the Louisiana shooting that I was talking about? Did you hear about that one? And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm driving at the same time while I'm trying to talk. So if I missed anybody, I apologize. Yeah, that just broke my heart. You know, the child mom, the boy mom and the child mom, they both were on there on Facebook, you know, just talking about it. And like I said, the guy that did the shooting, that makes it even sad, he has a 2-year-old baby. There's pictures floating around with him holding his 2-year-old. Now, how can you be a father of a 2-year-old and you want to turn around and shoot a 2-year-old in the head and unalive her while her dad is holding her? And you made sure you did that first because you wanted him to suffer to see that. Make him beg for his life, and then, you know, execution. You know, it's just wild, y'all. It is wild. I was just lost for words, and like I said, I feel bad for the family. And this happened in a community where everybody knows each other, so that's what makes it so bad. So it's not just the family that have the victims, not just them are going to suffer. You know, the shooter family going to suffer because all these people know each other. People don't realize when you do stuff like that and you're a small community. Most small communities, everybody's family and everybody know each other. So it's, I don't know. You just gotta stay focused because there's too much other stuff that's going on in the world to just have all this other stuff going on. We need to focus on these people who's not working, that's shut down. You know, I know a couple people that's affected by this shutdown. And you know the sad part about it is, y'all, whenever they go back to work, unless they're going to work now for free, they're not getting any back pay for the time that they missed. So you basically have to go to work and work for free in order to get your money, get compensated for any back pay. Ain't that something? You literally got to go to work for free in order to get paid back pay. So that means you got to burning gas, and you got to do all this with money that you're not making in order to just go to work just to get the back pay. You know how far behind and whole some people is going to be trying to actually do that? It's wild. You know, no, I work for the federal government, but I don't work for the government agency that I work for. We're private entities. We're federal, but we're private entities. So, you know, thankfully we're not affected by it, but there's a lot of people that's going to be affected by it. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just rambling. Oh, something else I wanted to talk about. Have y'all been following not Remy Ma, Layla Ali and what's the girl name? Her name just left my mind. The one that's dating Papoose now, the girl that's fighting. Damn, I can't remember her name. But anyway, she got beef with Layla Ali. She has beef with Layla Ali. And I'm not even sure right now, but Layla Ali dropped a couple of videos that kind of killed her. You know, just, you know, well, let me say, I'm not going to say killed, but made her look stupid. Because she posted a lot of videos how Clarissa Shields, that's her name, Clarissa Shields, yeah, posted a lot of videos showing that this girl actually was coming to Layla Ali kind of like a mother figure, you know, telling her how much she looks up to her and she admires her and all this. Now you turn around and trying to pick a beef with this girl. I think it's just clout. That's what I think it is. She's just trying to get a bunch of clout off of her. But Layla Ali, like, look, I ain't got no beef with her. You know, I tried to help her. You know, anytime she reached out to me for advice or anything, I've always tried to help her. So why is she trying to make a beef with me? I don't know. But she posted those two videos. I said I would go on live and try to share some of that stuff whenever I get a chance. Because it's a lot of stuff that's going on that I'm interested in. You know, I'm interested in a lot of stuff. You know, I like cooking too, but there's other stuff too that I like discussing and talking about, like real life world stuff. You know. And I also have another, you know, channel too that I want to start doing some of that stuff on too. So I'll be sharing that pretty soon. Layla Ali, she she don't want no beef with that girl. She's like just trying to figure out like why you coming for me. Clarissa Shield, she came from an environment where she actually stated that she didn't feel like her she do everything for her family, and she feels like everything she do her family is not enough. She actually said this. She said she feels like her mom and her sister don't really like her, and she keeps doing things and buying them things just to try to make them happy, but she feel like it's never enough. So it makes me feel as though that she's coming at Layla Ali because she wants her attention. Like she want that motherly attention, someone to basically tell her that she's doing good and the things that her own mom probably is not telling her. Because it seems to me that she's coming from a pretty rough type environment. She don't really know how to handle someone being nice to her because she's been treated poorly so long, most of her life. If you listen to her story, I'm not just saying this out. If you listen to her story, she actually says this. She actually talks about this. So it's a lot that's going on with that. But I don't think that the chat people was giving her a lot of smoke after Layla Ali dropped those 2 videos, making her look crazy. Because it's pretty much, reneging everything that she says, how she tried to make it seem like Layla coming after her and shooting, throwing shots at her, which none of that stuff was actually true. None of that stuff was true. She actually did clip-ups and showed the things that were said. I haven't heard Clarissa Shield come back yet. She's trying to. She goes on the Breakfast Club and tried to act like, yeah, I don't know why she's doing this to me. I always respected her and this and that. When she get in front of a big platform, that's what she does. She go on there to try to make it seem like she's a victim. But then when she go back on her social media, then she starts talking all this trash to make it seem like she's just big and bad. I don't know. It's something about Clarissa Shield. I don't really care for her too much. I don't know. It's something about her just don't know why. Rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. But she's bragging about being with Papoose and want to start beef with Remy Ma. And you don't start beef with somebody over their husband. Yeah, they're not together, but you bragging about a situation that's not even yours yet. The man ain't married. You talking about having babies and stuff with this man, and he's not even divorced yet. What are you doing? Is that what you're settling for? She's tripping. I don't know. It's more to her than I think she realizes. It's more to her than she realizes. Good morning, Holly Favor. I'm sorry, y'all. Like I said, I'm driving and running my mouth at the same time. So if I miss anyone that came in, I apologize. Drop Squad, good morning. I hope everybody's doing well and everybody's having a pretty good day. I hope everybody's doing good. Are you at work, KTC? Yeah, get that money, girl. These days, KTC, you just got to be thankful that you got a job. Everything that's going on. Everything that's going on. Highly Favor, you are absolutely right. They should hold their checks, and that's the crazy thing. Everybody fighting over whether or not they're gonna pay these people while they still getting a check. they're still getting money. That's wow. Like, consciously, how could you feel okay about doing that? How about take your money? How about take your check and issue out to these people that's not getting paid, that's not going to get paid? How about do that? No, they're not going to do that. They want to keep their lifestyle the same. They want nothing to change. Holidays coming up, they want to make sure that their family have a good holiday, Christmas, you know, whomever celebrates it. They want to make sure that they have all this, but they don't care about the people that's going to be missing. You know, I think I read that the judge did issue for Trump to, you know, to enforce him to give out the food stamps. And you know, with the food stamp situation now, you know, I don't really have an issue with people who gets food stamp or who's on food stamp, but I do agree that there are a lot of people that are abusing the food stamp system. There's a lot of people that are on it that's abusing it, but there's actually a lot of people that need it. You know, and you got elderly people. You got elderly people that relies on that food stamp because they, you know, they have a minimum income, so they rely on that. But granted, you do have. I saw a TikTok video. You know, whether it's true or not. Because sometimes, you know, TikTok, you don't know what's AI or what's not these days. But this girl has 8 children, and I think she said she get like what, over $1,400 in food stamp a month. She was actually complaining about them taking the food stamp for her, and she's complaining about how she gonna feed her kids, and you know, they don't understand when you got all these children, it's hard for you to work and all that. So my question to you is, you know, one, why would you have all these children and you know that you can't take care of them? Why would you go out and have all these children if you know you can't take care of them? 2, where are your children's fathers? Why are you getting all this food stamp and they're not vetting where these kids' fathers? You see what I'm saying? I thought you, in order to even be on those stuff, I thought you gotta at least be able to give the dad's information so they can at least get on child support. I thought that's how it works, you know. And that's what you know. And like I said, I'm not knocking nobody that's on food stamp, because I'll tell you, when years ago, when my kids were little, you know, I was married, me and my ex-husband, when we got separated, you know, it was a rough time at that time for me. All my kids were young, because they were like all 2 years apart, like 4, 2, and basically like 8 months old. I had a newborn. You know, when me and my husband separated, when I had enough, I just had enough, and we separated. So I had to apply for assistance. I had to apply for assistance at that time because I was not able to work at that time. And when my baby got like 8, 9 months old, I found a job. You know, I found a job, and I went to work. And of course, after you go to work, you know, they're gonna cut that stuff off because you're getting the income. You know, so I ended up using it temporary until I was able to get some work. You know, financially, if you're looking to get something out of life, if you're looking to grow and have more out of life, that's not a way of life that you want to stay. You don't want to live off of that. You don't want to live off the system. They don't give you enough money to actually give you a nice way of life for your family. You're only going to have enough just to get by. You're just going to have enough to get by. So that's why I don't understand, you know, when people get stuck on there, why? Why would you get stuck on that? Because you're not going to grow from it. You're just not going to grow from it. But anyhow, I think I lost track of what I was saying. But what I was talking about was the fathers. These fathers should have to be able to be on child support. And it should be a limited amount of time that you should be on these things and get a job. You know. And that's just my opinion. And there's a lot of people that's on it that actually need it. And I agree. If you need it, apply for it. That's what it's there for. But don't abuse it, because there's a lot of people out here that's actually abusing it. And I think those are the people that everybody becomes outraged over. Those people. So, you know, I don't want nobody to feel like I feel like it's bad for nobody to be on there, because sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. But just keep in mind, that's just a situation that's a temporary fix. Food stamps should be a temporary fix. It shouldn't be a situation where you try to live your life off of it. It shouldn't be that way. That's not what it's there for. There's so much other ways of making money now, you know. You got Uber, you got Lyft, you got all these other ways of people making money. Yeah, you're right, Lonnie. It's people that's working that still need it. That's why when you apply for it, it depends on your income. If you're making over the income threshold, you ain't gonna get by so much. But if you're sitting home and you got 8 babies or 8 children, and you just having kids after kids, knowing that child care is expensive, you know, you can't afford to have all these, you can't afford to work because you can't afford to pay child care. And that's usually what most of the people that gets the large amount, that's the people that get it. Because they're not working, they're using that as an excuse, but yet after 3 children and you know that it's hard for you to work, what makes you go have 4? What makes you go have 5? What makes you go have 6? You see what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. You know, you got to be mindful of that. And you know, and it's like that because a lot of people feel as though they know the system got, they know that the system got their back, so that's why they go along and they just continue to do it. They continue to do it because they know that the system is there for people who don't work. And like you said, there are people that work still don't make enough money because everything is high now. The cost of living is high, especially in certain states. Certain states, it's high. So some people can't afford to be able to pay their bills and buy food too. I understand that. But unfortunately, the system doesn't work for those people. The system works for the people that don't work. Those are the people that gets all the $600 and $700 a month food stamp. You got some people that's elderly, Lonnie. Let me tell you, you got some people that's elderly, and they got a fixed income. They don't get a lot of money, and some of these people get $25 a month in stamp. All because they're saying the income that they're getting is too much. How fair is that? When you got young people that's able to go out there and actually work, not going because they choose not to, and get $1,400 and $1,500 a month in food stamps. So I mean, that's all I'm saying. You know, I'm not trying to be political or anything like that, but it's just, I see it's a broken system. I do. I feel bad for the elderly and disabled, because they are the ones that need it. They're actually the ones they're the ones that actually needs it. You know, I mean, even with college students, I don't even have a problem with college students being able to get it, because they're in school. They're in school. You know, a lot of them can't work full-time jobs, and you know, and they because they're considered adults. They're not, you know, they can't be under their parents in a lot of after a certain age, because they're considered adults. So pretty much they're on their own. You said bread, eggs, milk, beans, potatoes, rice goes a long way. It does. It does. You said college kids gets a lot of breaks. Yeah. Yeah, I think they should be able to get the stamps too. I do feel that way. And it don't have to be a whole lot, you know, but just enough so they'll be able to buy things. And you're right, Lonnie. There's certain things that you can buy, like bread, eggs, milk, beans, potatoes. You could buy a bag of dried beans for like $2 and a change or something. And if you got a crock pot or an instant pot, buy you some smoked neck bones or smoked turkey wings or whatever, and throw that thing in the pot. You got a meal for a couple of days, especially when you got a large family. You got that for a couple of days. So you just got to really know how to yeah, it used to be 99 cents. I mean, but you know, everything ain't gonna stay the same. You know, I look at it like this: you gotta expect things to go up, because time bring on changes. Just like look at it like this, Lonnie. If everything was to stay the same, like how it was in the past, then there'll be a lot of us still in slavery. That's the way I look at it. You know, if you go back, people like to say they wish things to be how it used to be. No, not really. You know, you don't want things to be exactly how it used to be, because if things go back to what it used to be, there will still be slavery. There will still be a lot of this. I mean, we still got a lot of this stuff going on, but it would have been like how the roots days, and you don't want to go back to that. So, you know, we got to be thankful. We got to be thankful for a little bit of change. It's not a lot, but it's enough. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it could get better. Everything could get better. Everything has room to grow. But we do have to appreciate the little change that we do have. But it was good chatting with y'all. You know, I've made it to my destination right now, so I'm about to head up in here. But it was good to talk to y'all, and I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of y'all day. Hey, Rachel Banks. Yeah, I'm about to shut it down, Rachel. I've made it to my destination, so I'm gonna head out. But I hope you guys enjoy the rest of y'all day. And thank y'all for coming through. Bye.